All right, just two from me, Coach. Thanks for doing this. Just any late breaking lineup changes that we should anticipate here today?
No, we're going to. Sites have looks like he's going to go, so JBD won't go today for us. Pinto will get his first game, and Amadio will come out.
Okay, and you've always emphasized the start and the keys to getting off to a good start. Is it even more so stressed today, having the fact that Montreal played less than 24 hours ago?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the team that played the night before usually has the edge, right off the hop. They're game ready, I would say, and then we should have the edge, going forward if we continue, putting pucks in and make the game hard and make it some long, ozone shifts for us. Hopefully we can get them to make some mistakes. So we've got to be ready here and play a good road period to start the first period, and to start the trip off.
We'll go to Ian Mendez at The Athletic.
Two questions for you, DJ. First would be, what can a guy like JBD learn from a game like today where he's kind of going to be able to kind of watch a little bit from afar, but what can he kind of take away from an afternoon game like this?
Well, I think what he's going to see as he either plays or watches, we'll get him in, some games down the stretch here, is just how hard every team plays and how hard they get to the net. And regardless if it's a top end player in the league or a guy that you might not know, they're all good players. Everyone that's in the NHL is a really good player. And sometimes when you come from college or junior, right to the NHL, the difference between the best players and the fourth line or the sixth defenseman is a huge gap. And that's not the case in the NHL. The difference between the best player and the worst player on any given night might be just how they feel. They're all good players, and you have to be ready every single night.
And my other question would be, in the last week or so, Artem Zub has taken a handful of just minor penalties. And I'm just wondering, is there a common thread or anything that you're seeing in those? And do you have to bring that up with him, or that's just okay? That's just him just defending?
Well, we don't want to take penalties for sure, but he's defending hard. And sometimes when you defend hard, you get tripping penalties or holding penalties. Certainly you got to keep your hands and your stick to yourself. Sticking penalties is something we know that the league's going to call. And we got to, limit those. But in saying that, he plays so physical. You're going to have to live with some of that because he does so many good things.
Matt Tidcombe, Senators.com.
Hey, DJ, just what do you expect out of Shane this afternoon?
Well, I mean, it's your first game. So, I mean, you got to expect some nerves and you got to, some things out there that, that he's not going to expect is the speed of this game, the physicality of their defense, especially Montreal being so big and strong. It's a man's game out here tonight, but he's put a lot of work in. He's big. He's a lot stronger than most guys coming into their first NHL game, for a young guy that is, and I think he's smart player that he's just going to keep it simple and manage the game.
Sean Farrell, NHL.com.
Hi, DJ. Shane's the latest of your prospects to make a debut. Just curious, what is it like for you as a member of the organization to see these guys make their debuts? You guys have a lot of talent coming up. I would imagine there's some anticipation, some excitement about that generally as a member of the organization to see so much talent coming up.
Yeah, no, for sure it is. I mean, you want to win every game, but also there's a process of getting kids into this lineup. And, I don't know by the end of the year how many officially rookies and first game and how many games played will be, in our lineup by the end. But I know that it's very exciting knowing, coming from Toronto when they had the young Mitch Marner and the Matthews and those guys and just the amount of players that we have coming. It's too many for me to name. Right now there's just a surplus of guys that are going to push each other to be better. And as long as, we're patient with them and we allow them, some time to and they're going to make mistakes. We know that, but these are some of the best players, from the best leagues that are coming here. And obviously our scouts and management and ownership has done a really nice job of being patient and allowing these guys the time to play. And it's exciting to be a part of it. I'd be excited to be a fan. You're going to see, the next 10 years, the Ottawa Senators are going to have some really good players and be a very competitive group.
And if I may just follow up with one more, it's a bit of a bittersweet situation for a guy like that to make his debut. Circumstances like this, his parents can't, even though they're physically so close, they can't be there, they can't get here. What is it like to see that, to see these guys making their debuts in this environment?
Well, I know what it was like, as a 19-year-old kid when I got a game and how exciting it was, for my family and all those people. So these kids that are getting their first chance and first game, whether their parents are here or not, I mean, the amount of people that have put time and effort into getting to these kids to the NHL, their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their sisters, their brothers, their neighbors that have drove them to practice. You don't really realize, how many people are probably out there watching this kid tonight for his first NHL game. And we've had the opportunity to do that with many a player this year. And it certainly is exciting. It'd be great that his parents are here, but they're going to be watching, and there's going to be all kinds of his teammates at North Dakota watching. It's an exciting time. And, JBD last game, Pinto tonight. It's an exciting time for their family and their friends.
Final one this afternoon is from Guillaume Lefrancois at La Presse.
Yeah, hi DJ. Question about Victor Mete. He will face the team that waived him, a team that scratched him a lot also this season. Is there a risk that in this situation a player wants to do too much, and how do you guard against that?
Yeah, for sure. I've seen it both ways. I've seen a player come in and burn his old team and play unbelievable, and I've seen players that try and do too much and don't have great games. So, the message to him is just play. The Montreal Canadiens are now a thing of the past for him, and he has to just concentrate on his own career. There's no point in having, animosity towards decisions that are made. And the best way to prove that they were wrong is just to play well, and just keep doing what you're doing and keep working on your game. And he's been good here.